Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to learn a very important topic that is related to guidance and counseling, and it's inventory. So, what is the meaning of inventory? Individual inventory, simply defined, is that guidance service that provides the schools, counselor, and the teacher with information about the student. Basically, it's give the information of the student and it's related to the interest of the student. So, this information is obtained from many different sources. Generally, the data concerning an individual secondary school student. So it's related to interests. So interests are related to general ability, spatial attitude, and values in various ways. Linguistic and scientific interests are positively correlated and with intelligence. Technical interests are related to mechanical aptitude, and business interests are also related to the tendency to stress material as opposed to theoretical, social, or aesthetic values, and so on. So we call this a interest inventory, or sometimes called the interest inventories. So here is a in this slide you can see this one diagram that is related to the interest inventory. It is a measurement and evaluation of the level of individual interest or preference for a variety of activities, also known as a interest. So you can know the different type of the preference of the student or the interest of the student, and according to them we can guide the student what they required for the professional vocational guidance. If the student have an artistic nature and he or she have the interest in creativity or the different type of the expressive nature she have, so we give this type of the guidance to go in the artistic type, or just choose the some discipline related to the art and music. So it's about the interest inventory. Here is the strong is related to the realistic. Some things are some important topics related to that one, that is that it may be realistic, artistic, social, enterprising, conventional, and linguistic. You can see in this slide, and here is the one uh, form related to the interest inventory for parents. We just fill up this form and know about the interest of the about their about from this from the parents also, and it's related. Here you can see the one inventory of maths in the interest inventory example, the name of the student on the top and the here date, and related to the questions of the interest of the mathematics. How do you feel about maths? Five smiley begin the best. So you can choose the one which if you have the interest, you select the smiley good one, like this. So this is the inventory. Through this you know about the interest of the student. So why we do this? What is the purpose of inventory? To provide teacher and counselor with informations regarding the student preference. Just I already told you, it's related to the preference or choice of the student, and a version which will help them acquire better understanding of students and their problems. If I know about the interest and the preference of my child or my student, that I just go to the better understand of my student and give the better guidance, and give this better opportunity alternative provide to them. So to help the tests to identify and clarify their interest in terms of the demands of varied values, and choose work and experiences consistent with their interest. So it's a help for the test also. Next, to enable the teachers, counselor, and parents to know the kids and intensity of the test interest, and the assist him to prepare his educational and vocational plans consistent with their interests. So according to this we know about the ability and capability of the student, and we give the different type of the guidance to them according their interest. Then last one is to help channelizing the energies of the youth in different directions. When we know about the interest of our students, we just channelizing them. We provide them direction, which type of the vocational uh, guidance, or which type of the vocational or job opportunities they have. We just guide according to them to help in the selection of the right person for the right work and the save frustration. So on the basis of this, the teacher can guide the students in the right direction and save them for the frustration. So they do their work on their on the basis of their interests. So how we do this, and how we method of measuring the different stress interest, the different interest measured by the observation, claim of the counselor, use of instruments, and use of inventories. So how on the basis of the interest we develop the interest inventories, but how we develop this measuring interest, or how we measure it? So by the observation, we may observe the manifest interest, what an individual actually does. It is a good indication of what his interest are through the observation. And second one is related to the claims of counselor, knowing the expression interest of the individual in a subject, activity, object, and vocation. Verbal claim can be indicator of his interest through the verbal communication of the student. Then use of instrument, we can use the different types of the instrument to collect the interest of the student. And the use of inventories, we may determine the pattern of individual interest from his response to list of occupation and activities. The latter are too often influenced by his limited and factual knowledge of occupation. Here we all want to get the knowledge or interest of the student related on the factual base data. And these techniques is by far the most common means of assessing interest and is commonly used. So from these methods we can measure the interest of the student. So what are the advantages of this? So there are economic device. First one, they are well adapted for the interest, many ways they are well adapted to vocational counseling. The second one is related, they are useful for the counselor too, as they are less fraught with the emotional significance. Every time when we face to the student and ask the questions, they have maybe they emotional, and they don't give the right data provide to you. And the basis of this from we get the useful data from the student of their interest, and it's useful for the counselor. The subject can discuss the interest score with the counselor freely. And the third one is related to the helpful devices for the counselor too. Students do not mind revealing their interest. It's not helpful only for the teacher and the counselor, but it's helpful for the counselor also, because the student fill this form, they provide the data and the basis of their interest. So they are eager to have a report for their scores because they have their interest in them. And the next one is related to, they are economic devices. They can be given to a group. Interpretation of profiles can be carried out in the group discussion. They are economic also, and they provide excellent preliminary information either to further group study of careers or to individual counseling. Through this we provide the excellent guidance or counseling to the students. And last one is related to, they assist the counselor in dealing with many other students problem also. Not only get the information of the interest, but it's through this the counselor give sort out the different types of the problems related to the student or particular person. So these are the some advantages. Now we come to the limitations of the inventory. Many students fail to show through their response to interest inventories strong likes and dislikes, or clearly define the preference. Sometimes the student don't know, or they don't have a clearly demarcation between the likes and dislikes. So this was a very the disadvantages, most disadvantages of this inventory. The inventories can have validity only with the person who likes have been long and valid enough to have provided them with experience of the kind which will enable them to choose between alternative presented by each item in the inventories. Because this inventory have, we can don't have any reliability or validity, and we don't test because it's based upon the interest of the student, and they provide these information on the basis of their experiences. So these inventories are thus more useful with mature than the immature student, because the major student or the major men have the knowledge about their they have the knowledge, they have the experiences for longer time related to one interest. But for the disadvantages for the immature students. So next one is vocational choice or success cannot be predicted on the basis of even clearly defined pattern. And on the basis of only on the basis of this inventory we cannot give the vocational guidance to the student. And it's okay, it's provide the information, but only on the basis of this we cannot give the guidance to any student, because it's not clearly defined everything about the student. And it's shown by the, it's only the one basis of inventory. So it's clearly defined here that cannot be predicted on the basis of even clearly defined pattern shown by the inventory alone. So we have the knowledge of the other than the interest of the student. So ability, training and opportunities for training all needs to be considered. Interest, test results cannot be overemphasized. So these are the some limitations of inventory. Now we come to the little bit about the steps of individual inventory services. First one is the data collection, then we come to the maintenance of data. Whatever data we have collected from the students on the basis of their interest, we just make record and maintain it. Then use of data, then self inventory services. These are the some steps related to the individual inventory services. I hope you understand the introductory part of inventory. That is meaning of inventory. What do you mean by the interest inventory, and how we use it for the guidance and counseling of the student? What are the advantages and what are the limitation of the inventory? So I hope you understand this topic and it's a useful session for the student. So uh, thanks to join this session and keep learning, keep growing. Have a good day ahead. Thank